BE-OD? BE-OD is apparently a pedal name and less a general suggestion on how to live life. I like to call it the classic rock boner machine because it excels at that top tier classic rock shit that makes me think for a moment that I need to explore more real ass classic rock. Good sustain, handsome pedal too.
All right! Woo! Yes!
BE-OD?
BE-OD.
BE-OD.
The personal mantra of the gear cage, other than Investigate 311. But I'm going to let you talk about this pedal. I already said something about it at the beginning of the video, and it's a sick pedal. It's like classic. I just feel like
it's super classic rock. It's just quintessential. It sounds like an overdriven JCM 800. It sounds like a Marshall amplifier that's turned up really loud.
Friedman makes amps.
They do.
Primarily, right? Yeah.
They make great amps. I'm not a Marshall person. I like Marshalls. I've used them on records. I like a variety of flavors. I just think Marshall is like a very overused flavor, but it's not a bad flavor by any means. Like
sometimes stereotypes and common things are common for a reason.
Absolutely. This Friedman pedal just made me want to play AC/DC, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, no, I just accidentally put my mouth... I meant to do that for AC/DC, but I did it when you said Led Zeppelin. And I want to be very clear, I fucking love Led Zeppelin.
Me too.
I really do.
Didn't he
have an AC30?
Jimmy Page has used Vox amps, Marshall amps,
When you're a god rock, I think you can use whatever the fuck you want and use all of it. So.
My favorite tones that he ever used was like, I think it was 1970 or 1971. It was at the Royal Albert Hall, and they were like in their early 20s, and he's just playing.
I guess I don't love Led Zeppelin enough. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's just they released a DVD box set called How the West Was Won, and they did only one full-length show is in there. The rest of it's like snippets from different concerts, and they did this one, and I don't know who the engineer was who recorded everything live.
Jesus Christ.
Probably Jesus. It sounds... I remember when I was a kid, my dad had just bought a Sony surround sound system. It was the first time I'd ever experienced a subwoofer before. And it was a really nice system. I think he spent a handsome amount of money on it. You know, it was a good-looking amount of money. You know, like a LA7.
Not Benjamin Franklin's, all Hamiltons.
No, yeah, all Hamiltons. Yeah. And I remember, like, it had a music mode, and it just really made the bass tight but low. Mm-hmm. And the bass sound was what really caught my ear. The kick drum and the bass were married so well in the recording, and the guitar tone sat right where it needed to, and the vocals were huge. It was just really spacious because there was just a Les Paul plugged into a Marshall, John Paul Jones playing a jazz bass through an acoustic amp. Like it looked like a dual 18. Mm-hmm. Big old 24-inch bass drum mic'd with a condenser out front. And then direct mics, I think they're like 421s, and then or 57s or something, I couldn't tell, because they're kind of buried underneath the kit. And then some overheads, but the drum sound is amazing. And I know a lot of that's Bonham and the way he hit drums, but...
For sure. What was the... what was that like weird ass bass thing that JPJ played on Them Crooked Vultures?
Oh, that slide bass? Yeah.
It was like a big triangle. It looked like a big Toblerone with strings.
It did. And it's got like a really weird, like, the one thing I like about that instrument live is in the studio you can EQ so much, right? But like live, whenever you do it, it's so much upper mid clack sound. Like when he's like hitting, it's like, I'm like, what is that noise? I hate it.
Well, JPJ, he knows what he's up to.
He knows what he can do. Whatever the fuck he wants. He's like one of the best bass players that's ever lived on Earth.
Real sweetheart, apparently too.
Well, he plays with Dave Grohl and Josh Homme. Homme? I don't know. I should know his name better. He's one of my favorite musicians on Earth. Anyway, the BE-OD.
If you're watching, be our homies.
Yeah.
That was a great pedal.
It is a good pedal.
What a great review.